So, as everyone knows, when the clock strikes midnight on Thanksgiving Day, the Christmas marketing season begins, and we are immediately blasted with a preponderance of wintry-themed commodities. In general, I find this marketing completely harmless, but there is one form of it which irks me to no end, and that is the preponderance of deals or events associated with the 12 days of Christmas. The main proponents of this bizarre tradition are the likes of Amazon with their 12 days of deals, and the ABC Family with their 25 days of Christmas, during which they show a variety of Christmas specials. What strikes me as so bizarre about this arrangement is that not only are these marketing departments seemingly devoid of any context for this Days of Christmas formula, but they're using it wrong, because the 12 days of Christmas don't count down to December 25th, they count up from it. Let me explain. So, back in the days of yore, when we Christians supplanted pagan festivities with the glorious incarnation of the second person of the Godhead, we inserted Christmas not as a singular day starting and ending on December 25th, but as a season of which December 25th is just the start. Thus, we get the Days of Christmas, where Christmas Day celebrates the birth of Christ, and 12 days later, we celebrate the coming of the three wise men arriving to give their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the infant Jesus. Medieval traditions even extended the Christmas season up to the Feast of Candlemas, or the Presentation of the Lord, which would make the Christmas season 40 days, not 12, but I'm not here to argue that we should go back to celebrating Christmas until February 2nd, even though that would be awesome and we totally should, so I'll just leave it at that. However, dear viewer, you might point out that not only are the marketing departments you mentioned not giving a flying figgy pudding about anything you just said, but they're getting their information from the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, not the religious festival. My reply to that objection is A, I don't care, and B, the 12 Days of Christmas song is almost more religiously charged than the 12 Days of Christmas from which the song gets its name. The general tradition of the 12 Days of Christmas is that when Henry VIII wanted to divorce his sister-in-law, who he had now married, and the Pope wouldn't let him because it was metaphysically impossible, he decided to break away from the Catholic Church and took Great Britain with him. Thus, from the 1500s onward, anyone who wouldn't acknowledge Henry as the sole head of the Church of England would be imprisoned, or worse. But the Christians of the day wanted to keep catechizing and living as before, so they had to devise a system of teaching their children the faith that wouldn't get them arrested. They came up with the 12 Days of Christmas song. The partridge in a pear tree represents the sacrificial character of Christ, as a partridge sacrifices themselves for their young. The two turtle doves represent the two halves of the Bible, the Old and New Testament. The three French hens, which were royal food, symbolize the gifts of the three wise men. 4 calling birds represent the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. 5 golden rings are the 5 books of the Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. 6 Kisalang represent the 6 days of the Genesis creation narrative. 7 swans of swimming means the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. Wisdom, understanding, counsel, knowledge, fortitude, piety, and fear of the Lord. 8 maids in milking represent the Beatitudes, which are too long to recite. 9 ladies dancing means the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which I don't have memorized. 10 lords of leaping means the 10 commandments, which you probably know most of already. 11 pipers piping represent the apostles, of which there were 12, but which dwindled to 11 after a certain someone betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Finally, 12 drummers drumming has something to do with establishing the rhythm for memorizing the Apostles' Creed. At the end of the day, I know these marketing gimmicks aren't going away anytime soon, but I just wanted to give a brief history of these concepts because it makes me sad when by New Year's people are already done celebrating Christmas, which at the very least should be going on into early January. And I think these kinds of pop ideas of the 12 Days of Christmas have artificially shortened what I would consider my favorite time of celebration all year. Merry Christmas.